Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. And it's an honor to be here. Super excited.
It's my absolute pleasure. So you are my guest in the second season, which is like completely different than the first one. And the reason why is because we will focus more on helping people to grow their businesses. And I love your energy. I love your passion. And I want to hear it from you. Like, how did you start your journey on LinkedIn?
Absolutely. My journey was quite interesting because I had the chance to tap into two sides of what LinkedIn is performing or is offering. Let me get into more details. Now, LinkedIn is known to be the place where you can, shift your career, find a new job that you would wish to, grow in, and also for business owners to go there and to promote their brand. And I was lucky and fortunate enough to have tap into both. Back in 2019, I wanted to have a shift in my career. I was originally doing sales. I did it for 4 years plus. And I thought to myself, okay, it's time for me to kind of tap into something different. I have been wanting forever, and it's a very strong desire and passion for branding and marketing. And I did a lot of self-learning, a lot of courses I took online, and a lot of research about it. So when I went there, I went to a different field because I was doing, as I said, sales. And then I went into personal development, which is the company that I'm currently working for. And I found a job there. So as a job seeker at that time, I learned a lot about the ins and the outs as a job seeker on LinkedIn. It's an amazing platform for anyone that is in that current situation. It was until later at 2019, same year, November, that I started mixing with a lot of people, influencers, coaches, entrepreneurs who are constantly promoting their brand and creating content on a daily basis. And I had the pleasure of connecting with them and learning from them. So once I was there, I started and I posted my first post almost like a year plus ago. And I probably had on the motivational, inspiring side, not so much branding at that time because I was nervous and the struggles of creating content.
You were so sweet. I remember that.
I was so nervous. And I think this is something like a lot of people struggle, regardless of what platform you're on, LinkedIn or others. Like we always have that fear, like would people like it? Would my message resonate with them? And I still have it today. If you go to my profile, you'll notice it's still there. Probably had like 2 likes. But I keep it there as a reminder that this whole content creation and what I'm doing now as a side hustle for myself is a long journey. So you got to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It is not. But you got to be passionate. You got to have that desire and fire within you to keep going and to keep creating content. So that's what I did. I started creating content, and every week I learned something new. I tried to upgrade my information, try to be more informative and entertaining. And from there onwards, and I'm still doing it now, and I'm just trying to build and expand my network, and I'm loving it.
I'm so glad that you tapped into something which is like very important, and that's content creation and being persistent in that.
Yeah.
It's a long-term game. It's a marathon, and people usually want to jump from a first stage to the last stage of commercialization when there is a huge gap. And I am trying my best to explain there are serious systems in between which you need to know to get there, and there is time. So we can give a birth to a baby in 2 months. It has to grow, right? And we have to grow through that. I'm also in love with LinkedIn, and everyone knows that. Like, so in love with LinkedIn that I'm giving a speech in Microsoft about LinkedIn. Like, that's completely crazy and off the track. And I always adore when people realize how powerful this platform is. That's the place where we met. And I learned a lot about you, and you are doing an amazing job. But let's dive a little bit deeper. Like, what drives you to achieve this? What drives you to achieve your dreams? LinkedIn is a platform, but there has to be something else, right?
2 main elements, and I can't emphasize enough on how these 2 elements mean so much to me. The first thing is my passion and my desire and just this eagerness, hungerness towards learning. I love learning and researching about marketing and brand. And my passion for that had led me to kind of observe all that information that I know by taking courses and educating myself on a daily basis, that I feel like I am ready to share that knowledge, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
platform where you can share and you build that community by spreading the word and giving these tips here and there, the do's and the don'ts on how to improve yourself, how to create content, how to elevate your brand. And that is my slogan. And you'll find in my profile, I say, how to elevate your brand, because a lot of people, everyone that's there is a brand, is a business owner, is an entrepreneur. So how do you do it? By using LinkedIn or other social media platforms. So these are the things that I do. That's my main core first element that I look into. The second thing, networking. I mean, if you don't have people, people connect with people, people buy from people. So if you don't have human connection, if you don't have networking, then you really don't have much to offer to anyone. So I think these two elements is very important. Supporting one another, engaging in each other's content. That's one of the ways that we connected as well. I mean, we've never met in person, but I feel like I've known you for years just through Zoom calls.
Exactly.
Just through Zoom calls and stuff. And we were able to build this amazing relationship. And I really look forward for us to meet in person once the pandemic is over. But that's the beauty of LinkedIn. That's how amazing it is. Not just LinkedIn, like any social media, but specifically our topic today is about LinkedIn. And that's how it brought me and you together today. So which is amazing.
I am like out of my mind for the possibilities that are out there. And I want people to know that. And you are absolutely like right. People buy from people, people trust people, people connect with people. And the main core of every personal brand is actually being yourself.
Yes,
But you
absolutely.
need to have that strength to step up and to share that knowledge, which is a little bit tricky at the beginning, just as you described. When I think about my starts, I was starting in a closed Facebook group when I knew who is going to see me until I grow enough to step up. But we need to step up, because I find the way that we, people who like to learn, it is like our duty to share that.
I agree.
Otherwise, what's the point, right? What's the deal with that?
What's the deal with having that information to yourself if you can't share it? It's like a disservice when you have all that knowledge. And especially people who are expert, even like yourself, you have so much knowledge, so much expertise. For you to keep it to yourself and not sharing it with the world will be such a disadvantage, you know?
And like, it's not healthy.
Yeah, I mean, like, people want to know, like, oh wow, she has all that information, and then they can learn and they can create something of their own from that knowledge that you shared. So I think it's very essential to build that community, and for people who are very shy, or not too comfortable being in the camera, I think the first main step is for them to have one or two people who are either on the same platform or even outside to support them, to build their confidence. And then from there, you're able to kind of sit with yourself, get a plan. Like, what is your mission? Because when you get into, and this is just my perspective, in any social platform, there's three questions you have to ask, the three P's I call it, which is the purpose, the potential, and like the deliver. Like, what are you going to offer to the customer? So these are the most important things that people should really, really focus into it. Be intentional on any platform that you use. When you're on LinkedIn, are you a job seeker, or you're a coach, or you're an influencer, or you're an entrepreneur? And then your mission from there and your messages will be aligned with that message. So that's my key to them.
You just mentioned few roles that people take, and we all take a lot of roles, but you just mentioned few of them. If you're a job seeker, if you're an influencer, if you're an entrepreneur, your content and your behavior on LinkedIn will be different. Before the recording, we actually had a little chat about what, if I may say, types of people we meet on LinkedIn. Would you like to share a little bit about that? Because I liked it a lot.
Of course. Okay, this is in my opinion. I'm sure people are going to have different opinions.
There will be a discussion. Okay.
in my 1 year plus 2 years now being active on LinkedIn. Previously, I wasn't active. I had an account the whole time, but I never really used it. But now that I'm actually engaging with people, I'm interacting, networking, I notice there's three categories. I mean, that's just the way I see it. There's the categories of newbies, people who are very new to the platform. They have an idea, they have a concept in their mind, whether they're podcasters, whether they want to be influencers, or they just want to be a coach, but they just don't know the ins and the outs yet, how to use the LinkedIn platform for their brand, for their advantage. That's category one. Then you have category two, these are the experts, I would say. It's like the middle group. These people have been doing it for a long time. They have a very strong amount of, followers, networks, and they are very expert in their field. And they also have high presence in the platform. And these are doing well for themselves and actually assisting others, which is brilliant. And then you have the third, which I think these are the very important as well, because these guys have the same amount of expertise in the people in the second category, but they just didn't have the chance to be active or present on the platform or any social media. It could be they're so used to the traditional way, the one-on-one, face-to-face interaction with their customers. And now with the pandemic, it made it very difficult and challenging for them because they're unable to have that interaction anymore, and they're forced to kind of go online with lacking a little bit of knowledge on how to use the platform. So that's how I feel it is. But I think they're all brilliant in their own way, and we're all here for the same mission. So it's beautiful.
I absolutely love it. And the fact that, we're all there for some kind of a reason. We just need to know how to get to the point where we want to be. And, know how it's pretty simple. We can learn that. But that passion and that purpose, which you mentioned, that's what's make it difference for people to, if they are starting off or if they are an expert and they want to, scale on LinkedIn or whatever. If you don't have a purpose and you don't have a passion for what you do, you can use whatever platform you want. It's just not going to work.
Yes, exactly. It has to be this fire within you, like this desire that you want to help others, this desire that you want to convey that message to the world. Whether you're a coach or entrepreneur, you have something to offer. So if you have it, if you wake up every morning feeling like, yes, I want to make a difference in the world, then yes, this is the platform for you. But just know it's a long game. It's definitely a long game.
Wonderful. What would you like to do and accomplish in the future?
I would definitely love to continue being on LinkedIn. I don't see myself going away from this platform. I love it very much. I'm probably going to expand to other platforms, but I'm also looking into creating an online course or just a course in general for people who are very interested in marketing and branding, because I am passionate about it and I've learned so much and I'm continuing to learn every day. So that's something I hope to finish and to actually launch, if not by the end of this year, hopefully January. So that's something I'm looking forward to. But at the moment, I'm still going to continue giving out information and assisting, giving tips and ins and outs to everyone out there, and just expanding network at this point. So it's an amazing platform. If you're not there, then you're really, really missing out.
Your generosity is amazing. It's incredible. I told you first time we met that you have that angelic vibe, but you didn't stop for 1 second in sharing what you know. Although you work and I know you're a mom and you don't have so much time. So what would you say to people who say, I don't have time to spend on LinkedIn?
I was that person not long ago, and it is hard. It is hard being a parent and trying to doing a job and a parent and also doing your side hustle or your own business. It's all about time management. And I have learned to become more creative with my Google Calendar, where it's so many colors now. I have booked slots.
Me too.
This is the time where I'm doing my job. This is time I'm spending time with my family, my kids. This is the time for LinkedIn. And I say this to other people as well. And I was speaking to a group of amazing people last week, and they said, how long do you take or how long do you spend on LinkedIn? I was like, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, at least, this every day. I'm there every day, but I post 3 times a week. And that works for me because that's according to my schedule as a parent. There could be people who could do more or less. So I think time blocking on your calendar is super essential. It's all about time management. So yeah.
You see, everything is possible. I didn't even know I will ask this question, but something told me that I should. I hear a lot of, I don't have time for something like that. So I usually say you can outsource that, but there is a need for you to be present and establish that personal connection. Because once again, what's going to work on any social media, not just social media, but in life in general, is a personal connection. So we can outsource whatever we desire to, but actually, if we're not present and really connecting with people, we're missing out big time, especially now when LinkedIn gives us 100% of organic reach. And none other platform does, right?
Yes, I agree.
We're going to have a little bit of no pressure fun now. Yeah, I will ask you a few very quick questions.
Sure.
And you will hear a ring bell.
Every, I like that,
Yeah,
right? Nice. Reminds
yeah.
me of school. Okay, let's
And you
go.
thought that bell is going to sound differently. I was interviewing one entrepreneur. He has four seven figures businesses, and instead of that, I actually clicked on something else, and it was, yeah,
Well,
it
I'm
was
glad it's
very
the bell
funny.
first.
So I will try to focus now. And you focus on the fact that you have like 10 seconds to answer to me. Okay, you ready?
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go.
What's your favorite podcast?
Favorite podcast? There's so many, but because I am so big with Neil Patel, he's amazing. I love his work. I've been following him for years. So, and he brings great tips. Like on, you can find him on YouTube, on his website, and every day I'm constantly like intrigued by the knowledge he shares. So I would say he's my favorite. But then again, there are so many others, but he's my top.
I managed to click this. As you see, I'm still like controlling the time, so my 10 seconds can be, yeah. What do you like to do at your spare time?
Oh God, spare time for a parent and a working parent. Whew, that's heaven. But yeah, I know what you mean. When I do get the spare time, I like to have some me time. I do a lot of journaling. I think it's very, very important to focus on mental health, and it's part of what I do in the company that I work with, because we focus on personal growth and mental health and all these elements, which is very, very important. So journaling is a key for me every day. I like to have some me time. I love walking in the park. I love nature. So that's pre-COVID, obviously, pre-pandemic. But once the lockdown is over, I would love to go out with my family to the park. We do that all the time during the weekend. Another thing that I like to as well do is arts and photography. I love, it's a hobby of mine. I do it in my spare time. I love taking pictures and capturing moments, different kind of moments, like happy, sad, stress, all that stuff, because I feel like people that always tend to focus on the positive, but I feel like every emotion is valid and should be acknowledged. And I think they're beautiful in pictures, whatever it is, whether it's emotionless, whether it's shockness, whether it's happiness. As someone who does photography, you just love to see these expressions on people, and it's just a beautiful thing.
It's
So
so
yeah.
beautiful. And yeah, I didn't know that. That's so cool. It's so beautiful. My best friend actually does something similar. She is a journalist, but she loves photography. And I enjoy when she makes it. I'm not so good at it, I will be honest. But when I see, her whole face glow when she is into that. So your mom, your work, you have your side hustle, and you have time to do all these things. I think people need to hear this, because I don't think you're just a woman. Maybe a Wonder Woman. But see about that. What would be your advice for people who are starting and they want to be, for example, in marketing?
Mm-hmm. Well, whether it's marketing or a different field, I think the main core thing is that you have to be passionate about it. That's the main thing. If you don't, when we talked about this earlier, if you don't have that passion and desire, like I want to inspire others, but what are you going to inspire them with? What are you going to offer them? Are you able to give them results at the end of that? So all these things, if you think you're capable, you have the knowledge and expertise, and I personally think everyone is unique in their own way, in their own expert field, go for it. Go for it. Don't give up, because it's a long game. And yes, there will be bumps. It's not easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy, but you have to be willing to fail in order to grow. So that would be my advice for them.
Wow, you have to. Can you repeat that again?
You
You
have
have
to
to
be
be
willing
willing to
to
fail
fail in
in
order to
order to
grow.
grow. You're going to be quote, my love.
Go for it.
And I
Start
love how
small.
you said it's a long game, but it also people need to know it's a game, and they just need to know the rules. And when they mix it up with a little bit of excitement and willingness to fail in order to grow, as you said,
Yeah,
magic can really happen, and the life can completely transform. And
for sure.
I'm sure you know that, and I'm sure that we shared this space to actually lighten up the path for everyone who wants to step in this journey. Tell us a little bit what we can expect from your magic until the end of the year, expect for the course you mentioned, and maybe how people can find you, how they can reach out to you.
Sure. I am always available on LinkedIn. 5 times a day. So I'm always there. I'm posting regularly. I do videos as well. I don't just do text posts. So I like to kind of send messages and give tips on LinkedIn and social media in general, because these are my two big elements that I like to kind of big tool that I like to kind of play with and I'm very familiar with. And of course, there's the course as well. But usually I like to come up with new things, and I like to keep my audience, excited, because for me personally, routine can be a little bit dull, and I like to spice up things. So maybe I'll do videos and I'll do text, and then something else is going to come up. So just stay tuned. Love to connect with all of you, or you could follow me as well. And I would love to get to know you guys as well. But stay tuned, because every time I keep changing things up regarding brands, regarding how to convey your message to the world.
As
So,
I said, you are truly magical. Thank you for being my guest. I truly enjoyed, and I hope you did too.
thank you so much. I had a blast. You're amazing. Thank
It's
you.
my pleasure. Ciao.
Ciao.